Hey my little customizing kitties. Today we're going to be making a dragon Littlest Pet Shop custom, but unlike any you've ever seen before. I think we're all used to a good head swap by now when it comes to customs, sometimes even with non-LPS toys like LOL Surprise Dolls for example. But there is one untapped market of animal toys that I haven't seen anyone use before for an LPS custom that we're going to try today. And that's this. I know, jump scare. So this little freak is a Poopsie Cutie Tootie. I know, the worst name ever. From my understanding, they're not super popular. However, there is a surplus of them on AliExpress for a couple dollars each. While browsing, I saw this dragon and thought, I can do something with that. Today we're going to be taking on the task of turning this ordinary Littlest Pet Shop snake and Poopsie dragon, meshing them together into Frankenstein's monster and creating, well, you guys will see. First things first, girlie needs a lobotomy, or I guess a beheading. Next we need to remove this guy's head as well, so give me 1 second. I'm sure you're looking at this and thinking, honey, girl, customizing has its limits, especially for you. But I'm gonna need you to believe. Let's get into customizing this dragon. Let's get into it, looking like a jigsaw puzzle with all these pieces. The first step I did was removing parts of the dragon's body, cutting off the tail, the wings, and the neck joint, leaving us with a bit of a basic slate. I then used this bunny, this poor bunny, who I've been taking parts from. I took another part from it, its neck joint, making the head a lot easier to place on using a G3 neck joint. I also filled in the hole on the back where the tail used to be with hard UV resin and left it to cure. Honey's tip of the day: if you have fake LPS or super damaged pets that are beyond repair, all these pieces here are from fake Littlest Pet Shops. Having an offcut like this tail for example saves so much time when it comes to sculpting, and it gives you a great starting base. So repurpose those fake pets and give them a new lease on life. Taking our newly recycled LPS offcuts, I stuck some fake LPS ears to our snake head, also some fish fins under the ears to create kind of like dragon scales. It was then time to start modeling on some of my own details. This included some horns on the top of the head. I'm using Caniditide, I think that's how you pronounce it, or green stuff. I have used this stuff in other customs, but it's actually been a while since I did a lot of sculpting, so I was a little nervous. I also sculpted on a new mouth, giving it more of an actual nose, as the original snake model just has two little slits. I wanted an actual 3D looking nose area for this baby dragon. Also a little tip, if you're using this green stuff, I highly recommend using silicone tools as they don't stick to the clay like regular tools. I also added some more spikes on the side of the head, and once our resin was cured, I did some modeling on the body as well, like smoothing out the back now that the hole was filled in. I also went in and modeled a whole new tail, making it bigger, thicker, and more stable for the Littlest Pet Shop. Smoothing out all this modeling with some water as well really helps reduce any seam lines in the modeling. During this time when the green stuff was curing, I also made some little resin wings. After everything was hardened, I sanded down the modeled on areas and added some more small details like spikes on the tail. Once they had hardened, I gave everything a coat of white paint and then attached the head onto the body using super glue. The very last part I needed to attach were his little resin wings. These were also glued on the back in place, and he was finally ready to start receiving his painted design. Before this baby dragon, I had two main inspirations for his design, the first of which are Littlest Pet Shop fairies. These LPS have very bright and colorful designs, very whimsical and kind of baby looking to me at least, especially this one in particular. It just looks like a little baby, and I wanted to capture that same aesthetic with this baby dragon custom. Now I know that there are dragons which are technically part of the fairies line, but I always thought they looked too out of place. I felt like with the fairies, they also needed a more cuter looking dragon design, if that makes sense. And that was a main inspiration for this custom. I wanted this pet to blend in with the other LPS fairies. I wanted it to look like it was a part of that collection. The other main inspiration for this custom was actually Poppy Playtime. I've recently been watching through Dan and Phil's playthrough of the Poppy Playtime series, and the smiling critters I thought were really cute and their kind of bright colors really inspired, especially the base color for this custom as well. A lot of the toys and a lot of the aesthetic in Poppy Playtime kind of helped me design this dragon. A lot of inspiration was taken there with the colors especially. And I'm not sure if you can see it or not in the custom, but it was definitely an inspiration in my head when I was painting and designing it all. When it came to making the LPS, it took me about a total of 3 days. 2 days for sculpting and curing, and 1 day for painting. So majority of the time was sculpting and then waiting for the clay to harden. I know a lot of other LPS customizers use clay that you can bake in the oven for their customs because the waiting time with green stuff is so excruciatingly long. And while I think that's really cool, it kind of scares me. Like, I'm scared to do it because I am so worried I will just melt my LPS. So for those of you who use the clay that you can bake for your customs, all the power to you. Like, go off because it scares me. But yes, the actual painting of the pet took me about a day because drying in between coats and everything like that. So that wasn't too bad, especially with how many different colors I used and all the details and everything. And I think it was a pretty okay process time-wise. Like 3 days is a long time to work on a custom, but with the amount of sculpting and everything, I was really happy with that. I also want to say, I've seen comments on Instagram and TikTok, not you guys here on YouTube, you guys are amazing, but people on Instagram and TikTok, I have seen them comment on other customizers' work when they are selling them, shunning them for the prices that they are charging for their art. And I just think it's ridiculous, okay? I'm gonna have a little rant right now. Because there are no shortcuts when it comes to making LPS customs, and it can be a very long process. Like, there are customs that are 10 times more detailed than my baby dragon, and I can only imagine how long they take to actually make. So when I see comments of people being like, oh, your custom's cute, but it's only worth this much money, I find it so rude because you don't know how long someone has taken to make that piece of art. Like, LPS customs are a art form and it takes a lot of time to make some of them. Like I said, this baby dragon took me 3 days total. And I understand that LPS customs are a kind of luxury item. Not everyone can afford them. I completely understand. There are so many LPS customizers that I would love to commission, but I just don't got the money for it. So I get it completely, but that doesn't mean you should bring other people down and make them feel bad for charging higher prices for the amount of time, effort, money, work they have put into their customs, if that makes sense. I think that's also why I've been taking so long to sell my customs. I'm just kind of scared that people will not be happy with the quality or with the prices. Like, I'm just scared that people are just gonna have something to say. And I know it's the internet, you can't stop people from speaking their mind, especially anonymously, but I guess I just get a little worried about how people will react to my artwork being sold, because I do plan to sell this baby dragon along with other customs I've made in the past, and I'm going to be launching a whole store for it and everything. I'm super excited, but I'm also scared about what the reaction will be. And I think that's one of the reasons I really enjoy making these custom painting time-lapse videos, because it kind of gives you guys a look into what goes into making these pets. It's not just a simple wham bam and the custom's done. Like I said, this baby dragon took me 3 days. It was a lot of sculpting and sanding and gluing and resin and then painting. Like, a lot goes into it. Sure, simple repaints are less work, and you know, there's more complex ones and everything like that. It's a whole spectrum of customs, but I guess it just frustrates me when people put other people down because they don't think their work is worth the money. Like, no one is telling you you have to pay the price, but maybe somebody will. And I guess moral of the story is just be kind, and if you don't want to buy someone's work, don't buy it. And if you want to buy someone's work, that's amazing. Supporting small businesses and artists and creators is the best. And yeah, that's my rant over. Going back to talking about the custom, I wanted this baby dragon to have some unique eyes, so I gave it more of a cloud-shaped eye color instead of just the traditional circle shape. I like this. I wasn't sure if I would or not when I thought it up, because it's an eye shape that does exist in actual Littlest pet shops that Hasbro has made, but I've not really done it myself. So I was like, is it gonna be good? Is it not? But I think in the end, I was pretty content with how it turned out, and I decided to go with 2 different shades of blue with a little bit of shading here and there, because I wanted it to represent the sky and clouds, because he's a baby dragon. His wings are small because he's still growing, so he can't fly just yet, but he has a dream, and that dream is to soar among the clouds like the clouds in his eyes. Wink wink, nudge nudge. So that was the inspiration for the eye shape and colors, and you guys will see in a moment that for the eye shines, I also did cloud shaped eye shines as well, and I think they'd look okay, and hopefully not just like blobs. I think gradient eyes would have also looked cool for this custom, but I did want it to look more like a traditional LPS, so I did do the black, is it iris? Is that the part of the eye that I'm doing? I don't know, but you get what I mean. And I also covered up some little paint mishaps with some little white spots / scales. So, you know how it is. You make a mistake, you cover it up, you move on. And then it becomes part of the design, and boom, it adds to the design. We love that. Oh, I also added these cool eye reflections. I've seen other customizers do these, and I really wanted to do it on this custom. I think it looked pretty cool along with the regular eye shines. Let me know what you think. And please, can somebody please reassure me in the comments? Because I really like how the eye shines look, because I wanted them to look like little clouds, little cloud puffs, hee. But I need reassurance that they don't look like just blobs of paint. Please, somebody, please, reassure me, please. Anyway, after the eyes, I went ahead and added some final details like some shading and also some glitter details. A lot of the Littlest Pet Shop fairies have glitter details, and I wanted that to be a part of this custom, so I put some Elmer's glue down inside the ears and used this beautiful rose gold glitter, which I am definitely going to be using again because it is stunning. And then for the wings on the back of the body, I used this really deep, sparkly purple color. When I do glitter on my LPS, I always put glue down, then glitter, and then I seal it with a gloss Mod Podge. This ensures that the glitter won't flake off, but it also still keeps the shine of the glitter, and I really recommend it if you want to use glitter on your customs. I also glossed the eyes of the LPS because you know I had to, and then the baby dragon was actually finished. So please put your hands together for the newest member of the LPS Fairies collection, my baby dragon custom. Whoa, baby dragon, yay! Ta-da! Is it really an LpsHoney custom reveal if I don't say ta-da? But here he is, our baby dragon custom. I thought it would be fitting to get out the LPS fairies to welcome this new pet into the ranks. Hopefully I did an okay job at matching the vibes of the fairies so he can blend in nicely, but you guys let me know. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like these two would get up to some mischief. But let's talk about this custom and some little details specifically that I really love and want to point out to you guys. Starting off with something more unique that I decided to do, and that was the eye shine shapes. I wanted the eye shines to be more unique, so I opted to make them little clouds. I hope I was able to make them look like clouds enough and not just like blobs, because that was the overall vibe I was going for. You guys be the judge on whether or not I was able to achieve that, but I loved that part. I think it gave it a very unique look. Something else I really loved doing was the little glitter detailing, especially within the ears. I didn't know how much I was going to love this kind of rose goldish pink colored glitter till I used it, and now that I have, I'm definitely going to be using it in more customs. I think it is so beautiful. And of course the purple glitter on the wings as well. I loved how this turned out. I was a little worried that maybe you wouldn't be able to tell the shape of the wings once they were glittered, but thankfully you still can. I think the glue method with the Mod Podge sealing on top kind of helped compact the glitter into the shape of the wings, which is what I wanted, and I'm glad it turned out that way. This is also the first custom in quite a while where I have done a lot of sculpting. I've kind of been doing more just regular old head swap customs lately, and this one I really wanted to go all out. Like, if I'm gonna make a baby dragon, I'm gonna put my whole dragonacy into it. I feel like you can't go simple with a dragon. You need to put in all the detail. Besides our regular 360 clips of my customs, I'm also going to include some clips of this pet in direct sunlight. I have been loving direct sunlight LPS videos so much lately, just even short little like 5-second clips. I love how they look. Obviously you need to get the right angle so there's not all these shadows being cast, but if you can get the pets in that kind of direct, beautiful golden sun, they just look so beautiful, custom or not. Just if you are having a good sunny day, I recommend so much taking your pets outside and just getting some videos of them because they just look beautiful. Again, not tooting my own horn. You can literally take a Hasbro made Littlest pet shop. It doesn't matter. I just want to share my little epiphany lately of how much I love direct sunlight videos of LPS. For me, customizing this pet, I actually kind of got used to seeing the snake head with this mouth nose area that I modeled on. So actually looking at an LPS snake now is kind of weird for me because I'm like, why is he so bold? Speaking of, actually, let me get the original snake mold that was used for this custom just so we can see a little before and after. That's kind of crazy. Would you guys even know that this is where we started with this orange snake and this is where we ended up? Like, they don't even look like they're the same pet remotely at all. Mission accomplished. What you can achieve with some clay and paint is kind of crazy. There they are. I am so open to name suggestions, so leave them in the comments down below. This little pet has so much personality. I feel like it is a crime to not give them a name, so please let me know if you have any in mind. This pet will eventually be for sale, so please look out for that in the the coming future, along with some of my other customs which I'm going to be selling. But don't worry, I'm not just going to drop it on you guys. I will be making a whole video and announcement for when my customs go up for sale. And I hope seeing this little baby dragon come to life was enjoyable. I absolutely adored making him. I love him. I really hope eventually he can go to a loving home. And I really just want to say thank you for coming along on his little journey from snake to baby dragon. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I really do hope you enjoyed the process of bringing this baby dragon into reality, seeing the painting process, what my inspiration was, and of course the final product. If you enjoyed this video, I have a bunch of other customizing videos, and I'm even working on some more right now, so there is definitely more to come. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, like always, please don't forget to like, comment, and of course subscribe, and I will see you next time with a brand new video. Until then, bye guys!